Here's the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Do your due diligence and invest at your own risk. You can lose money. What's up, everyone? My name is J Tragic Jeffrey. Welcome to Crypto Plunder, where there will be no champagne sipping, crypto pumping. I can only give you the real. In the crypto world, today is All Hallows Eve, October 31st, 2017, and welcome. Been busy. I know I say that a lot. It's just when it's a one-man show and there's so much going on in crypto and so many clients are interested in getting projects done. And again, it's a one-man show as far as the design is concerned and graphics and web development, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm not complaining, because what is our goal for 2018, folks? It is gain more crypto. We talked about this. It is gain more crypto. Right? So I've been working on some projects. The t-shirts I'll talk about later. There's some the templates, master templates are coming out soon. Had to work on those. Had to begin the process of updating and getting the site ready for the launch of the store and be able to take Bitcoin and all that other good stuff. So I'll talk about more of that towards the end. But let's get into the news. There's a lot going on, and I'm going to pretty much go through this kind of fast in the news because there's a few things I'm going to be hunting for. First things first, Bitcoin hits all-time high as CME Group announces futures trading. So a futures company, a major one, has decided to put Bitcoin in its futures market. We already have futures markets. I forgot the name of the website. It's actually in Sensi Kevlar's videos. He talks about derivatives and futures. But yeah, so now that just what we're talking about earlier in a few of our other episodes, I said that institutional investors will have no choice but to come on board, and this begins that path as to they're going to be able to tie it up, rename it, call it something else, and then the companies will be able to invest in it, but it won't be, oh, I'm investing in Bitcoin. It's I'm investing in a future, so they can still capitalize off of the cryptocurrency market without having to say they're in the cryptocurrency market. The same thing they did with real estate in before the 2007 2008 crash, when they tied it to derivatives and all that other stuff. So this begins that process. So what you're seeing is a way that they're going to backdoor themselves in. So that's why we're going to start seeing more money. This is, again, we talked about that Bitcoin's going to see 10,000. We see this. This is why I'm telling y'all you need to grow your portfolio past just trading cryptocurrencies. You got to look at value plays, hold them for the long term, be able to get your Bitcoin, right? Get your Bitcoin. You need to start stacking it up. I'm not saying buy it right now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm saying buy on the dips. When you see a dip, buy on the dip, and we're still expecting a dip. In my last video, we were experiencing a somewhat dip, but I'll talk about that in a second. But it's important for you to understand that this begins the path to cash as far as institutional investors getting involved, okay? Blah, not important. The next generation of tech geniuses are signing up to study cryptocurrencies. So now you're going to see this. There's the market, the job markets, especially like what I've noticed in here in Georgia. The job markets are opening up where they're looking for people that have cryptocurrency experience. So now understand something. When I say that 2018 is your opportunity to begin getting your crypto, it means start positioning yourself. If you understand cryptocurrencies, find ways to put that in your resume. All right, I'm doing that. Find ways to put that in your resume, not to say that you're a cryptocurrency investor, but that you understand cryptocurrencies, or start working on side projects where you're helping out businesses online, freelance. Go on elance.com or fiverr.com and offer your services. So if you're a web designer and you design websites, so start doing that. If you're a graphic designer, start designing for cryptocurrency companies. If you're a coder, start coding for cryptocurrency companies. If you're a writer, they're going to need people that can write up white papers. Start reading a bunch of white papers, start learning how to write them, and start writing them for these companies and get your Bitcoin. This is what I want to do as far as helping you start seeing how you can start earning your Bitcoin in a way that that isn't costing you anything. So if you want to put it into more risky propositions later, or risky assets later, you can, because is your stream of Bitcoin getting any shorter? No. Is it getting any smaller? No, because you're using your service side of your portfolio, where you're concentrating on doing work, doing services, and you're bringing in the Bitcoin that way, so that if you put it in a risky proposition down the line, it doesn't matter. It disappears, so what? You work on a couple more projects, buy more Bitcoin. Then maybe invest it in another risky proposition, or another risky position. But if not, hold it, because you know it's going to grow. Buy and hold is not a bad thing. Buy on dips, hold them, you see profit. Okay? So start thinking about your services. Integration, green. Arkansas police generates its own cryptocurrency to track child porn. You're going to start seeing more and more companies going to put themselves on blockchains because of the transparency to see what's going on. And then they're going to attach that to artificial intelligence, because now this is the global database, guys. All right. And one of the things that is necessary for AI is a distributed database. So if then AI gets access to all this information on a world computer, it can now work at that level, and it can now do things on another level. So we're going to see in the near future, we're going to see, after blockchain becomes more commercialized, we're going to start seeing more artificial intelligence companies jumping on board to be able to then give the government agencies and big businesses ways to be able to get better analytics. So you're going to start seeing dashboards for analytics and all that stuff. So start looking for those companies as well, especially if they're blockchain-based technologies that maybe even have a cryptocurrency tied to them. So start thinking about that as well. Ethereum co-founder Lubin, wait and see, seems to be the big tech giant's crypto plan. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's true. But they did that with the internet, tried it with the intranet, came back to the internet. So we're not worried about that. That's not important. Not important. This is what I was telling you about. Remember I said, hey, start looking at cryptocurrency-based jobs or blockchain-based jobs, putting that in your resume. This is exactly what I mean. This is why I wanted to do the video today, because I started seeing some news that was validating some of the points I brought out to you in like 2 videos ago, to say, hey, you're going to start seeing. This is when blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies begin to start becoming mainstream. Because as long as there's a job offer on the planet, someplace, that somebody says, I'm going to pay you to do work for me in the blockchain or cryptocurrency or Bitcoin space, then now that becomes commercialized. Because, okay, if I'm an employee, I don't know anything about blockchain, but I get hired, now I'm in a Bitcoin and blockchain company, I start learning about it, I start understanding it from the inside out. It's no different than when the internet became widespread, and now it's basically a utility. People didn't understand the internet, but then they started working at companies that they were just basically surrounded by the internet, and guess what? Osmosis happened. They figured it out, and they figured this is going to be something big, and some people blew up into big businesses based off the fact that they came in maybe as an intern. Right? So you're going to start seeing the same things happening now, and this is beginning. I'm starting to see it here in New York. I'm starting to see it in California again, with blockchain-based companies, even though it's not a surprise for California. I'm seeing it here in Georgia. So If I'm seeing it here, I see it in New York, I see it in other companies like countries, states like Delaware, where Delaware has the holdings of company corporation titles. So you get your LLC or your C corps from Delaware. You're starting to see companies come out of that space that are going to be blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency based. So really start thinking about putting some of this stuff in your resume as you're studying it. All right. So let's see, blockchain to name .com. Okay, so they're talking about the naming space. Ethereum has the name space that they're launching. So decentralized domain names, which is extremely a great way for them to earn capital, if that's just what I believe it is. I got to look more into that, which might raise the level or the price of Ethereum, because if they become basically a domain name space and they're charging for domain name space, and I don't know if it's going to be decentralized or if they're going to be the central holders. I'm not sure how it works. I'm going to learn more about it, but that's going to be huge, huge. So that could be a big money maker for Ethereum if they are in control of that, or are the centralized repository, or of this decentralized namespace zone. So I got to read more on this one. Definitely something that I'm highlighting for my education. Blockchain tokenization being simplified for mass market. So this is going to be interesting, because while many people are worried about countries like I believe it was Vietnam trying to block cryptocurrencies, the thing is that tokenization separates. What I mean by tokens is, instead of a cryptocurrency, you have a crypto token. So if you look at what Bitconnect is, it's a cryptocurrency, but in some form it's kind of a token, but it's not a Bitconnect. One of the things that I'm looking at is, as more and more tokens that are not really cryptocurrencies, but they're tokens of a cryptocurrency, come into the realm, they really can't ban that. And what I mean by they can't ban it is, you would have to then ban, if you go into the gaming market, you would have to ban anybody, any company who creates a token that can be exchanged for currency. So it'd mean like EA could not sell you an EA coin to be able to buy assets inside their own video games. So that's why I said there's a gray area where they can't really ban everything, because to ban everything would mean you would have to ban the biggest games on the planet. You would also have to then ban things like the sports bet gaming, where people are trading back and forth in a digitized asset. It's not currency, it's a digitized asset, because they're bypassing the gambling laws, right? To be able to have some form of credits or point system. So anything that had a point system, if you even name that point system, that's a token. Even if it's not encrypted, but you're on an encrypted network, like, so you're on HTTPS. So really, at the base of this base argument is that if there's an encryption going on and you have a point system or some type of tokenized value on an encrypted system, really anything on the planet would then be banned. All gaming that has a point system, all websites that give you some type of rewards. So even credit card companies would have a problem with that. I bring that up to just show the stupidity of anybody saying that they're going to be able to ban cryptocurrencies over the long term. Because if they're able to bypass it with a token, well, then you have to stop everything that's tokenized. That means any rewards platform would have to be stopped. That's every rewards platform since the 80s. Anything that gives you some type of discount points, you would have to block it. So if you think about that, could they stop MasterCard from giving you point rewards? Could they stop PayPal from giving you rewards for purchase rewards? Could they stop your gas card from giving you a points rewards? Because if you log into their website to see the points, you're on an encrypted platform. And if you're on an encrypted platform and you have points on an encrypted platform, it's an encrypted token system. See? So guys, everything that you see, everybody that's trying to ban stuff, just keep holding the line, because the BS will stop when they realize what I just told you is the simplicity of the stupidity of their thought process. Because they can't think like that. They just think cryptocurrency. And they want to give it a title to try to ban something, but underlying there's patents already in play that will allow it if they just weren't so damn, I want to say, ignorant to the fact that a word does not change the action that's happening. Like the big cloud thing. Oh, we're in the cloud. We're in the cloud. No, you're in a server. Just because you rename it doesn't change what it actually is. It is a server. Right? So we're seeing that. They're saying cryptocurrency. No, it is an encrypted value position or a value asset, right? Or not even an asset, just an encrypted value to trade. You trade one thing for something else. So if I sell you something online via Bitcoin, a service, a product, I'm trading my service or product for an encrypted value. And that doesn't change if I'm on PayPal, does it? No. If you bought something from me from a website, or I bought something from you through your website, and we are using HTTPS, it's a secured protocol to exchange that transaction back and forth, and PayPal just happened to be the escrow service to handle it. Well, guess what? It's still an encrypted value being exchanged between two parties. So they can't ban this. They can attempt to just scare people to get values down so they can buy in, come up with their own coins, but they can't stop this. And that's why you see things like who the celebrity Bitcoiners are, banking meeting blockchain, app coins will change traditional industries. See, here we go. I just talked about this and I wasn't even looking for it. App coins. So now applications, your app, coins in your app will change how traditional industries work. Right? And I believe, and I have to read more into it, Overstock is thinking about launching a coin themselves. So really, you're going to tell Overstock, one of the largest sellers on the internet, that they can't do it? No. As more and more industries can create their own coins and they see the value of being able to get revenue outside of the old ways of doing business, and they're able to potentially create new revenue streams for themselves that are not reliant upon people coming into their locations to actually purchase anything. When everyone realized that maybe they're also now a little bit of a financial institution. I learned that being a peer-to-peer lender, when I was able to do loans, and still I'm able to do loans to people and earn interest rate. I became a little small mini bank because the banks weren't giving loans, and I was able to facilitate giving loans to people. So when you start realizing that you are now a little mini financial institution unto yourself, when you start letting that sink into your head, it starts changing the perspective of who you are as a business person, right? I'm going to get out of the news. I just wanted to share that stuff. This is the biggest thing that I saw coming, because like I said, we're going to have some major dips beginning to happen. Maybe. I don't know if we're going to keep doing the run, which brings us to the market. Like right now, the market right now is doing pretty well. Look at all that green. I mean, there's some, it's red. It's half and half, really. I need to do the math on this one to see where we are as far as, is there more red than green? But for the most part, we're having up days. BitShares, BlockNet, These companies are doing pretty well. EOS is up. I've got to start thinking about making my migration off of Bitfinex. I got to start working on that this week. If you haven't heard, Bitfinex is booting us in November, really soon in November. So if you haven't moved your stuff off of Bitfinex, I suggest you do so now. Also, Nova Exchange, I believe, is beginning a shutdown process. So they're telling people to move their stuff off their exchange. So we're starting to see the consolidation of power into other exchanges, larger exchanges. So, which is not surprising. There were a lot of ways to be able to trade, to make purchases. The PayPal's of the world, where you're able to be a point of sale. There were a few of those before PayPal basically became the de facto standard. Now there's like maybe one or two smaller ones. If you get booted off of PayPal, you're basically going to the second and third, who are far underneath their market caps, right? So the market right now is consolidating. I'll have to find. I'll try to talk about it later in the week to get once I get more information on the Nova Exchange situation. Closing out the month, I want to talk about my asset playbook. Again, another pretty much down month because the market on altcoins has been kind of crappy. I haven't moved any of my capital into my trading account from the stuff that I've been getting in from services and products. So I haven't moved it over here, so you don't really see me being up, even though I'm up crazy. Up, I'm up a bit. I have to do the math to find out where I am at. But again, it's not me losing any money because I didn't sell at any losses. I've actually got to finish this off. I haven't finished up my roster. But I just wanted to at least look at this. The bot was doing awesome with Steem. We were getting a lot of trades in and out of Steem up until the 25th, and then it stopped trading after the 25th. I'm holding a bag in that still, so that's why this has pretty much been flat after that. There's been no trade, so I'm gonna be looking for more sniper positions. I probably, and the lesson I'm learning from this one is I could have planned that this might have gone down some because Steem is trending down, and I should have planned that Steem wouldn't have a reason to really do a rise, but I'm going to be holding a bag for a while in this, so I'm going to have to find another sideways position play that plays longer, probably higher up in the top 20 or at least in the top 10. So that's going to be one of the things I'll be working on as well as funding next month. Well, funding probably next week, funding my account with more currency to work with. So I might be actually moving it today, so that the account will look like it's up, but it isn't going to be up because of trades. It's going to be up because I want more capital to get more assets in. Right. So right now we're sitting at 15 companies that we're in. 15 positions. MCO is doing a run because I believe Visa is doing something with them now. I don't really have much to give two damns about it, but I can see this being in play soon. I've been holding this for 33 days. I really should have bought a heck of a lot more, but I didn't do it. But we'll see. Like I said, that news is great and it means a lot and it might make it run up, but the fact that it's still not in the United States, I don't have to see whether or not it'll be approved for the United States, and if it is approved for the United States. If it's not and it's just in the UK, it will make a spike and it'll stay up. Wherever it levels off, if it's just then, it means there might be a time that you can get in. But it's one of those things for MCO, for Monaco to, if it is a green light on Visa and they do have an official seal on it, it means that the price can go up. The price point is, at the moment, let me look at MCO. At the moment, it's down actually. So I want to do the research as to why the news didn't really bring it up, because I saw the news last night and then it just pretty much hit the top of this thing and just came right back down. So this is a long sideways play. So it might be something that I can throw a ground sniper on, where if it comes back down to here, snipe it, ride it back up to this, snipe it right back and let it go back down. Or maybe is this the new bottom? We'll see. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I might be buying more positions if the news seems like they are going to be able to expand. I need to find out where they are, especially if they are in China. I know that they were having a problem with that as well. So, yeah. So, but like you can see here, I'm holding pretty much a bunch of positions that the bot was holding. But that's fine. These are plays that I actually like. So for me, it doesn't matter. I made some money in and out of the play, and now what I can do is 2x or 3x some of my positions, which I'll explain. I know I had an email, not an email. I had somebody message me on YouTube on one of the videos, commented and asked me to explain 2xing and 3xing your positions again from one of my videos. So I'll try to do that again. But let's look at the seasons of Bitcoin. One of the reasons I didn't do any videos was I was again working, but this was bugging me. We were down here, and I think I did a video last week where you saw we were down. And I kept thinking we're gonna end up going up, and we're gonna end up coming out of this. Like I think I said something where I was like, okay, I'm not sure if we're in the downturn yet, but I'm gonna kind of wait and see. And we came out up for the week, so we're still waiting on this November dip. We're still waiting on the November dip. It didn't happen last week. It was not an early dip, even though it dipped really low 2 times. You can see it dipped here, but then closed up high. It dipped all the way down here, then closed up high, and it's doing well right now. So I'm still thinking that I wanted to wait until we got to these. Now we're at new higher highs, and like I said, this was the dip, which was November 9th. I'm actually thinking about taking some profit taking November 7th, November 9th. So we're looking at November 7th, November 9th. We're looking at next week. Potentially beginning I might be doing a dip pattern. It might be earlier than that, but I think I'm close to feeling like, and let me look at the charts and see if we're in any crossing patterns. No. It looks like we might be getting a little bit to the oversold zone. Like this was where we were oversold. Not really. But we're looking like we're getting back to that point right before we came down. All right, we got to this point. Even like you see, we got up here. Once it got up here, it does a little schnitzel. You got up here again, right around this zone at 78.56. It gets to this zone and it does a little schnitzel. All right, does a little trimming. It got above that zone and did a little trimming. Gets above that zone and does a little trimming. So you start seeing, if you're looking at where the charts are telling you, you can see we're getting back to this zone right before a dip happened. So that's the reason why I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is right before the dip. Look where we're at. Right? So if you're looking at this and I pop a line right here, this is where the dip. See where we crossed right here? So if we look at right here, and let me drag this down just a little bit. Look at where we're at. So is there potential that a dip is coming? Yes, but I don't see a crossing. See where it was doing a little bit of convergence beforehand, where this line is converging with this line. So I don't see the convergence happening. This one didn't converge at all, even though the dip happened. This one didn't converge on the MACD. It didn't converge up here, but it did a convergence down on my Willie. And where you see convergence or close convergence on the Willie, we always have like a little bit of a dip, right? So That's one thing. East Coast Crypto. I'm going to close this video out. East Coast Crypto. Make sure you get to the Discord room. Check it out. The links will be in the description. Check out the subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've got to run. I've got to actually head to a meeting. I kind of ran this long. The store will be coming next week, so make sure you're ready to be able to start selling some products to make some Bitcoin for yourself. Bitcoin will be accepted here. So, guys, I'm gonna close this video out. Like I said, we might be getting into that dip. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching the video, and I will talk to you soon.